I'm still getting set up. Minute. Alright, so while I get set up, I'll try to explain what's going on. Basically, I'm trying to hunt down Crash server. A little chilly in here today. Getting warm enough at night. I don't think I need to heat the place. We'll see. I have the jacket coming on and off. There we go. Phone set up. Okay, I think I'm about ready. Oh, I'm forgetting some, aren't I? Firefox. I need to set up Firefox. Got a ton of tabs open. Just clean those up real quick. Make sure that's set up. Well, that's strange. I lost a window. Setting up the browser. There we go. All right. Well, basically, the idea here is that last night I tried to replicate what was crashing, and I couldn't find it. I tried to just extract everything I thought was going wrong into like a little test thing so I could make a bug or figure it out. That just wasn't there. So, too many windows open. When was this one? That one. All right, that's more manageable. So essentially, I have this test. I'm trying to replicate what was going on by having a couple of spawns with the tracers and trying to replicate what's going on in the game server, what's causing that crash. What's this? Ah, it's pulling rust. Oh, this crash. So basically, this is happening in the standard library. It's actually happening in the read-write lock in the standard library. And it doesn't happen in my test. I don't know what's causing it. I'm kind of just drilling through, doing a little bit of a binary search. And I got to the point where I had been commenting out a number of things. It turns out that when I select an actor to go into the game, it bails. So if I enable this code here, it won't work. A strange thing to me is that, is it because it's entering this code, or is it because, I guess that's a strange thing. I don't understand why it's actually having an issue here. Take that off. I forgot. I did forget to set up my little window preview. There we go. Now I can see what you're saying. All right. So, what is it about this? Is it that I'm sending to an MPSC queue? Doesn't quite make sense to me. If I do this, maybe we could subdivide that and say, well, maybe it's the one. Oh yeah, and this needs to know what kind. Message.value. Where is message.value? Wonder what it needs there. A watch on it. Oh. Oh, it's okay. Let's build it and run it. Fire up Godot. Yeah. We log in. Looks cool. Now notice that stream multiplexer isn't in the Jaeger stuff. That could be an issue. I don't think it is because I'm able to log in. If I choose Captain Fuzzy Lips, wait, why would that bail? It's actually this line here. Oh, why? Okay, let's subdivide that. That is surprising. It's really surprising. Reset the client. I thought this was because of Jaeger and all these different libraries that this data is getting piped through it just to get to Jaeger. Okay, we can log in. It's fine. Is Captain Fuzzy Lips? Nothing. Interesting. Reconnect. Yep, nothing again. Okay. Just making sure it's not. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So it's not this piece, but this piece. Let's validate that. Oh, sure. Why did it? Maybe I hit Control C too many times. Should just do it once. This is an interesting kind of thing going on. It's surprising to me that this at all would cause this error. Oh, that time it was fine. Strange. Because that time, I don't think I even selected one because, well, the list isn't there. It actually happened before. Interesting. Okay. So that does still cause it. So what is it in here? Incoming message. Nothing there. We just have a value and a stream. Huh. Is it because it just takes that much longer? Is it because this function is taking longer? And there's no logging on this? Strange. Or did that not build? Oh, I changed one line. I added a space. Reconnect, login. Carter, good morning. You know what, this doesn't happen all the time. I wonder if it's a timing issue between two different elements. I'm trying to come up with basically a test case here that reproduces this all the time. So here, main function, we've got the Jaeger exporter, actually exporting to Jaeger when you run it. You trace 1, trace 2, you create 2 spawns, and essentially just count. They just loop counting. I was trying to come up with something that mimicked what was causing the crash. Maybe one of them should have a weight in it. Say, what is it? Delay 4, delay till? I thought there was something in there for delaying. Go to the browser. Oh, yeah, I was looking at this last night. Delay 4. Come on, why am I dropping packets? Just to create a little bit of uneven cadence here, do this. Or we could do some sort of random amount. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was just missing an S. It's still not doing it. So at this point, and they could be, I guess, in sync. We're both waiting for 1 second. We could make this random, a random amount of time so they fall out of cadence. Or spawn. Let's call this wait millis. Oh, U64, okay. So this one we'll do a wait for, let's say, 30 milliseconds. This one for 50, or 5. There. Now this one should be paused while this one continues to run. Borrowed value does not live long enough? Oh, let's move that. Standard async move. So if you don't have move, then it's borrowed inside of here. All right. Huh. Still nothing. See, I thought for sure it was going to be something like this, where these two elements are just going to collide or something. But not stream multiplexer. But here, why is it that when this is called, everything goes wrong? So weird. I think I've set them up very, very similar, in a very similar fashion. It almost seems as though it really is like a timing issue. I can't see that just this one line creating this element here actually causes anything. That's says benign. All right, let's put that back. So what am I doing that's different then? I have a working example. Let me flip around to it again. Here. This one works. Essentially, they're sharing the provider and the exporter and creating layers and subscribers using the default registry. So let's set up the other one just like that. Test integration, one more, that's multiplexer. Pipeline, there it is. So in this case, we're not actually sharing these two elements. We could. Let's change that. A little deja vu here. Let's see, we're going to save the provider here. Whatever type that is. That's so cool. Move this in there. And that's good. Service name. Yep, that's not there. Should we give it a service name? There we go. So we have that on the struct. Toss this on there as well. Actually, I don't think that needs to be mutable. Alright, I think we have the wrong kind of provider here. Yeah, this one's SDK trace and this one's API provider. Should be self. Okay. Where are we here? Yeah, these need to change because we need to actually pass this in. Okay. Let's go back to server main. Create our tracing pipeline. Where do we need it? I think we might need it here as well. Let's put it at the top of this or pass it into that. Setting up some other tracing stuff here. Let's T pipeline. Trace pipe equals tracing pipeline. We'll call this legacy. All right, where are we at there? We need the type on that. So when we start the server, we're calling run, aren't we? Or is it legacy run? So this is legacy tracing pipeline. Because that is one difference. Right now we have multiples of the subscribers there. I wonder if they secretly share something. No, she shouldn't. It should just be the default one. Huh. Oh, is that just peaking? What's going on? Oh, it's done. Fine. Oh, come on. I'm trying to practice my Vim. I wanted to delete to the second parenthesis, so DT2 right paren. No. 2T right paren. Ah, many parentheses. Okay. Okay, so next it was private. Also, the struct is private. There we go. Finally. Let's just pull that in. I wonder if I can have a code help for that. Inline variable. No. Oh, and technically these aren't needed anymore with 1.42. Let's see, does that change it? I don't think so, but I'm going to leave that for a moment. All right, that's coming through. That's good. Let's pass that down into our run. Here. Base pipe. No quick fix available. Fine. Okay, that's not used yet, which is expected. Also pass it here, trace pipe, actually. Three of those, tab, shift O. Whoa. It's not doing the multi-vim like I'd expect. So tab O is, oh, can do it. Oh well. Now we're gonna go ahead and enable Game Master again. And just like this one, take that. One more. There we go. Now we have the trace pipeline all the way through. Actually, should that be borrowed? Borrow that. Yeah, those should probably all be borrowed. When you're in here. Well, technically, I don't need the type there. It's funny. There we go. Wonder if it needs to be mutable. Bubble that up from inside here. So at the very end of that, we were doing this. So it's this one. So that's essentially what we want. Now, it's here. Now if I'm pipeline in the scope, can I import that? Oh, we're in lib. Okay, cannot borrow as mutable, not declared as mutable. Fine. It needs to be a mutable borrow. Could have looked at the signature on that, but no. Okay. So if this is declared mutable, we don't need to double that up, do we? No. These need to be mutable. One more. Okay, and then these two lines, bottom of each function. This is no longer just a blanket thing. This is character selection. Okay. Bottom of this one. as game master. All right. Huh, event center's gone. Makes sense. Here needs to be passed in that way. There we go. Okay, let's try running it. Where we end up. Well, that worked until I clicked around a bit. Huh, same place. Yeah. Does it even have my code in it? Last time I saw one of these, they just don't. All of these are from registry. Or registry. Yeah. Surprised we got so far in before it went bad. That's surprising to me. Normally I don't make it that far at all. Is it a fluke? I'm definitely making it further now. Strange. Okay. So this code here, you can see basically this is in extensions. So somebody's getting the extensions for this, which you see here, calling for the extensions. It's trying to read those, and by reading that, it's saying, hey, we're gonna have a deadlock if we do this. Huh. It's all Tokyo. Red pool, worker, raw. I wonder what it's doing. It's just a runtime going, like it's doing its thing. here, we're setting a global default for that. Let's comment that out for a bit. Shot in the dark here. I doubt that's it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Run that again. Oh wow, that time it was right away. I do wish it would tell me, like, what is the other thread that I'm possibly deadlocking with? I only have so many spawns in here. Those, I guess that's not even right. A spawn just, they have multiple spawns on a thread. So this is from tracing subscriber, getting called from open telemetry, which is tracing subscriber and core. Tracing futures. Which future got traced, do you think? Oh, here's some of my code. Run character. Look at that. I did not see that. I still have. Oh, we do. Oh, that wrapped around. So in run character, line 42 of one character maybe? Let's check. Tracing macros. Macro span line 42. I don't have a trace on this itself. But this task, as with subscriber, but that's not a macro. Yes, all of this should be in the same one. I guess technically I don't need this span. Let's do the same change in the other place. I wonder if there's something with the spans versus the... Although, this would be a nice span to have. Let's see, is there anything else I can derive from this? Tracing macros. Tracing, macro span macros. Interesting. Let's see. Ah, okay, so that is in here. Oops, where was it? Tracing, macro span. Which is pretty much any span macro, because they all fall back down into this one. Huh. Line 42? Wish that would give me a little bit more info. New span. Calling span. Yeah, default. Let's get in the default dispatcher. Subscriber new span. Okay. Back in dispatcher. Okay. And part of me keeps wondering, how do I represent this in a test? How do I reproduce this? I mean, maybe I'm not building a span the same way in that test. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. Oh. Because trace span gets resolved down into that. Actually, do we have any other? No, that's the only one. Oh, that's it. That's it. So this span here is causing an issue. Why? Okay, let's reproduce this. Copy that into my buffer. We're going to take this code over into my little test setup. Copy that. Okay, this is my little test harness. See, I don't have a span in here. I probably should. So let's drop one in here. Inner span space. count. Still nothing. Oh, come on. Do it. The neat thing about like that whole test is that we come back in here, you actually be able to see it. Good if it's just service name or if it's something else. Yeah, foobar, inner space is there now. You can search for all the inner space things. Space. You can see that it's got foo and bar. I'm gonna put my jacket back on. Too chilly in here. Okay. So it's actually going. It's ticking along. Back to the code. Well, that's a good try. You had remove the delay now. Let's remove the delay. See if we can have them stomp each other more often. Doing this here, it's just infinite loop. No, still nothing. All right. So would it have been that something else is currently making a span? There are some places where quite a bit of information. So if we go back a little bit further inside of here, in some of these, I'm just logging message, that's fine. But in other places, there's quite a bit more. Most of them pretty good about limiting what I'm actually tracing. Usually just something like packet. Okay, well, if this is the case, take a look at this file, line 406. Going on here. We are in the middle of span. We have a new span. It doesn't seem like this should be an issue from where we currently are. More like this is the fast one and we just ran into some slow moving piece. Because that line, that macro, should be fast enough. But does this mean that we're just looking for other places where we're creating a span? We go up. Right, what is this registry? I've looked at this before. This is pretty much all it's doing. Getting its inner extensions, reading them. I don't think it's because Um, I don't think it's because we're re-entrant here. Oh, where was it? Here. Hmm. So what does it mean if it's gonna have a deadlock? What's it gonna have a deadlock with? My threads have been set up so that well, I'm not even using threads. I'm using Tokyo, and Tokyo's using threads. But I really don't have any sort of locking going on. It looks like I'm throwing a fit because this file here, it can't get the inner extension read. I wonder if they have a bug for this already. Let's look. Tracing subscriber. Oh, it's over in tracing, isn't it? Tracing subscriber. Yeah, so that's in here. Issues. Lock. Oh, closed. Trace logger. Are we using trace logger? I don't think we're using. We're using the wrong one. We're just using tracing. What about tracing subscriber? And why are we using tracing O.1? Okay, because it's still O.1. Fine. Okay, this looks like exactly what I have. Oh, this will not work. Span guard S will not exit until the future generated by the async block is complete. Span remains entered for as long as the future exists rather than being entered only when it's pulled. Oh. And we'll open that in a new tab. Two ways to instrument asynchronous code. Let futures instrument do it. Okay. It's through the instrument attribute, which is what I'm usually using. Okay. Let's look at this. Execution may enter and exit a span multiple times before that span is closed. This feature was spawned on an executor. It might yield one or more times before poll returns OK. Feature were to yield. Oh. This spans may be entered and exit multiple times. Turbo trait method which hold. Okay. Okay. There's only a single handle. Capacity to exit the span. Interesting. So, let's go back. Where were we? We were in here. We have this span. And this appears to be the wrong way to do this here. So if we're doing this on a future, yes, we use these kind of auxiliary functions, right? Instrument, etc. But in this case, I have a unit of work that I want handled right here. In scope. Ooh, and how's this work with asynchronous stuff? That's not going to work well. Okay, we need to instrument a span async block here. Kind of. Well, we are doing an await here. Oh, you know what? Let's do this differently. Okay. So, go back. Close. No, not there. Instrument. Right, we can create a span right here and then await it. Let's do that. It looks like we can just drop this, our tracing span, into there, providing the information we need. Witty pants, good morning. So instead of current span, we're going to say instrument, give it our span, basically this. How's it going, Witty pants? Am I writing a blog post? I'm not actually. I'm working on building a game. So at this point, I'm building a game server in Rust. I'm working through actually a server crash because I think I'm using one of the libraries wrong. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing with the stream auth info here. Keep stream ID. Not enter the span. And one more. Why did I choose Rust? Well, actually, first I was writing this in Erlang, and Rust seemed like just such an interesting language. I kind of come from a C++ background. I'm currently a web dev by day, so in about an hour, hour and a half here, I'll be heading off to work. But Rust itself, um, it solves a lot of the problems that I've had in the past. If you're coming from a C++ background, sort of foot guns that they provide, right? C, null pointer exceptions, C++, doing threading fearlessly in C++ isn't really done. I did it to learn. Yeah, you can bring up a networking server with Node pretty quick, right? Same with Erlang or any of those other systems that are meant for that. Takes 8 parameters. I Oh, the test thing, yes. Well, I'm not fixing the test yet. Yeah, mostly to learn. I wanted to get good at Rust. Wanted to, see if I liked it first, and then I really liked it. Really, really liked it, and just I kept going with it. And I think it's a good fit for a game server, actually. I think it would um, be able to scale better than Node would in these cases. For what I'm doing here. All right, let's see if that actually fixes. We'll switch back to here. Restart the game client. I'm guessing I have other spans like that, but hopefully, my goodness, it's just working. It has some nice wrappers for Vulkan. Which wrappers are you looking at for Vulkan? Oh my goodness, that was it. Okay, so the reason I was doing that, because I wanted to be able to track on the game server events that were happening. Give it a little refresh here. I think it's legacy. I want to look at the stream authorization stuff. See that? Oh, look, I just logged in. See the process it went through. Oops. I left you in the console. That hardly ever happens. Volcano. Interesting. That's cool. But the reason I'm currently going through and trying to figure out these libraries because I wanted to use something like Jaeger where I would be able to follow and inspect things. So in this case, all of the tracing that I've put in the server is actually going to get used, and I can see where time is being taken up for different elements. Oh, this is so nice. Right from, yep, took barely no time. Whole process. Login took a while. Look at that. Wow, it took 500 milliseconds. I wonder why. Oh, because of the database call. I'm surprised that didn't show up here. Oh, that is interesting. Why would this database call take, I guess, 2 milliseconds, whereas the wrapper for it took a little longer, like a lot longer, 560 milliseconds longer. Strange. But this is why I built that setup. I really wanted to see this information. If we go to Game Master, stream Game Master, we'll see that I clicked around, done stuff in the world, has entity control. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is awesome logging. The other really neat thing about that is if I just want to follow one person through the whole thing, say, give me where stream ID equals 1. And this is just that one character. So if I log in again, start this. As Captain Museum. Ooh, he's got an Arctic biome. All right. I'm guessing he's going to be stream ID 2 because it's sequential. Stream character. Oh, look. Here's his authentication. Here he chose his character. Did something in Game Master. Oh, this took a long time. These look like database calls. But being able to see, just see this and see the relationship between these and to be able to follow. Oh, look, he's probably clicking or doing something here. What are his events? Destinations. This is so powerful when you're trying to debug something in the world. Big game server. I am really, really happy about this. You don't understand. That is so awesome. All right. Now, in this case, what kind of stuff do I do at work? That's kind of changed on and off over the years. Most recently, I've been doing web development, kind of React. Same web dev story as everybody probably. Before that, working on kind of streaming technologies, like video stuff. Or that, entertainment, really. I did a bit of Unity with that. That's some fun. And that just keeps going back. And did Java game servers before that. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. And the thing that Rust solves some of those problems are like that we had with the game server stuff, I'm actually able to solve here with this instrumentation. Being able to click in and just see this information is so very useful. Video streaming stuff? Oh, sure. I don't really hide, so if you watch the stream long enough, you'll know who I am. But no doxing, thank you. Did make this crate. Let's see. This. So some of the pieces of the game server I want to break out and make just kind of common, just regular things. This is one of those that we've built. So let's get back to coding. Where's OBS? OBS. There we are. Witty pants. Right. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Witty Pants. Exteria Dev, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. All right. Now for the test code. Basically, I have some integration tests, and those integration tests basically need something that's not really using Jaeger. So what I would like to do with all stream, the pipeline here that I have, I don't even know what to call it. This name is kind of temporary. Temporary for the next couple of years. Subscriber here. I think for test code, I'd actually like a different subscriber. And probably a different new. I guess it could be generic. This could implement some sort of interface. Here, trace pipeline, we probably just want that to have an interface. Make this generic so the tracing is, excuse me, so that testing doesn't need this Jaeger setup. All right. Trait. Pipeline. And it's going to have a subscriber, probably something like this. Ooh, but this it's going to be different for these. Guess I can box that. That might result in other issues. I tried that before, it didn't work out so well. Alright, let's see how that works. Basically, I don't have a good feeling about this. And we'll call this one the Jaeger pipeline. The Jaeger pipeline. Full pipeline. Jaeger pipeline? Good. Oh, this actually should still be in a new, or an impl. Okay. Okay. Now we have a trait. Say cargo watch -x test. Let's let that do its thing. Pipeline is private. Ah, yes. Pub trait. And the other thing that we want is probably like a console pipeline or something like that. Log pipeline. Oh, we could do associated trait types to fix this. Okay, that's what we'll do. All right, too early for this one. Let's get that one. So in this case, we need to return something. And what does that something need to be? We say we're getting a subscriber, but what are we getting? Getting a layer with subscriber, and I think the layer here, the open telemetry layer with tracer. Let's look at that. I want to see what traits those are implementing. Use local documentation in Rust. It is so much faster. So it's a layer, but where does that come from? Tracing subscriber layer. Okay, so that's really what we need to return. Something like that. Type item Now it should tell us we don't have those defined here. Let's fix it here. In this case, item is going to be equal to this. Now for the logging one though, what are we going to do for that one? Oh, we see browser. Sugar. Dang. I'm so sorry. All right. Thank you, the Geek Pirate. All right, so we have a trait. We have an associated trait type. And we return the associated trait type from our function. I guess we could call that layer or something else, but in this case, we need to do the same thing. I really appreciate you telling me about that. Sometimes I just get so into it. I just don't see anything else, you know? Let's toss unimplemented in there. Okay. The value must be specified. That's correct-ish. We're actually going to change you. Okay. Do I like working with React? I guess I'm not a huge fan of React. I've spent a lot of time with React. And there's a couple things I don't particularly like about it. I don't like the error messaging in React, especially with hooks. We've lost many hours due to poor errors, especially with hooks. It's a bit verbose. Yeah, that's a bit of a kitchen sink. Whenever you see a React project, you're like, either have to work really hard not to make their distributable like 1 megabyte large, compressed and gzipped, whatever, or they use something else. Personally, I want to try out Vue. I'm going to see how that works. It's a little bit more prescriptive in terms of what it does. I think it might work better for me. Like in terms of like what I like. In fact, I really like just having the server send HTML to the client. I know it is like way old school. But oh my goodness, it is so fast. It means you need a little bit more on the back end to, stamp out some HTML. But goodness, doing that in something like Rust or Erlang, Elixir, yeah. How do we, let's see, we're going to say P is our pipeline to run where that is like that, and P is pipeline. Okay, it also means we need to do the same thing for a couple more functions. Okay. Okay, leaving that up there like that, good. I think also some parts of the JavaScript community are I don't know, naive or just they don't know. They're young in terms of their development life cycle, and quality of some things out there are just so compared to other ecosystems. Okay. Let's check. Did I get the generic on that one? Nope. Let's add that. Love the people I work with, though. And we've got a great team. Oh, can't be sent between threads. Okay. Which means some of these we're going to basically do the same thing for send plus sync. There. And then the last one. Oh, too far down. Oh, I got that one. Oh, I missed this one. There we go. Probably here too. Because those won't be able to take what this has. You still do server-side templating in Go? Raw.js to slightly enhance usability? That's it. Yeah. It's I think, goodness, what was it we had the other day? You know how NPM is now telling you how many vulnerabilities are in your setup? I have to go through that and evaluate it. Like one of my things I do. At last check, it said we had 2 high things, 2 high vulnerabilities, but it turns out it was just in the build system, so it's not anything that we're actually sending out. And then nearly 40,000 low, like, oh my goodness, just a mess. TypeScript used it since like version 0.8.3 through 1 something. I don't think we hit 2.0 on it, but oh my goodness, TypeScript is awesome. Okay, where are we at for compilation errors? I thought I saved those. Oh, item. Okay, same thing for item then. I think we got them all. Oh, interesting. What is this one? Consider borrowing there. No, thank you. That's right. It wants to know that this thing can go into tracing dispatch. I could put that on there. That is basically the constraint. If you go and look at this, oh, no. I remember now. There's three things that it needs to be. Item in this case, four things it needs to be. It needs to be static, send, sync, and a subscriber. Let's just double check that. You're using Flow from Facebook and refuse to listen to me. Oh man, that's rough. That's really rough. Let's see. We actually want to see with subscriber. With subscriber needs something that could go into dispatch. What does that mean, actually? Dispatch can come from S if it's, yeah, subscriber, send, sync, and static. And that's just tracing core subscriber. I don't know if tracing core subscriber is actually exported from anything because I'm not using it directly. Does tracing export tracing core? Are these the same thing? Oh, that's a trait. Must be static, okay. If we go back to tracing core subscriber, oh, it's the same thing, okay. Back to the code. And we need one more constraint. And that the item here is not pipeline, it is subscriber. And it needs to be plus static. Okay, I think we got them all. No. Not all trait items implement. Missing item implementation. Oh, yes. Sure. Item is equal to nothing at the moment. Just unit type. Thank you. Okay. Good. So in main, server main, we're going to actually use Jaeger pipeline, which I need to import. Oh, Jaeger pipeline. There we go. Yes. And basically we have to do the same thing that we were doing before. Actually, this can just be a Jaeger pipeline. That's fine. We call run. Run needs to pass that through. It should be okay. Okay. Oh, 7 more supplied. Got it. Oh, this is in the test code. Okay, good. Let's pull that in. Super account actor. We're in server tests. Setup mod. I see. So this is. Where's legacy? Tracing pipeline. Log pipeline. And here we shall create a log pipeline. Okay, it's going to absolutely hate that a bit because the return item here is does not implement subscriber, etc. So let's fill this out. So we don't really need a new thing, do we? Don't need new on that. There we go. Now here, we'll go back to server main. I think this is the subscriber I actually want in this case. The tracing pipeline here. Okay. Oh, I deleted them. Let's look at the diff. Did I not have that committed? Okay. All right, where is format subscriber and builder? Pull that up real quick. Let's see, oh, it's in tracing subscriber. That's where it is. Okay. That and ENV filter. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Found that subscriber with a bunch of stuff in it. I think I need to move that up one. Okay. Should already have a subscriber in view. Format. Okay. Missing item. Does that have to be up first? Silly. Yeah, now I can't actually find these. Oh, I see. Was it just complaining that didn't know what subscriber was? You know, I really thought you could use these blocks like that. It's not. Oh, I see. But that's not the right type there. I'm going to take those two, put those over there. What does format subscriber actually return? Let's go figure that out. Builder finish. Why don't I have that one? Tracing subscriber. Format. Interesting. Tracing subscriber, format subscriber. That is so weird. I mean, is it just re-exported from somewhere else? Let's go back to the code. I think I have that somewhere. Where is it pulling that in? Formatter. FMT subscriber. Not in this project. Okay. It's supposed to be in here. Tracing subscriber, format subscriber, okay. Oh, it's just struct subscriber. Format subscriber is struct subscriber. They renamed it so that it doesn't conflict with the formatting or with the regular subscriber. That makes sense. Confusing, but makes sense. Probably means they have a pub use, yes, subscriber as format subscriber. That's fun. So if we go look at tracing subscriber, subscriber is as a builder, subscriber builder then has a finish, and that gives us the subscriber. Got it. That's making more sense now. Go back to where we were. Here. This subscriber, it's picking up the wrong kind. This should be a format subscriber. Don't have, oh, it is there. There. Looks like it's missing one though. Expected mutable reference, sure. And that's not used anymore. It's not how I'd like that. Instrument. Oh, I have it twice. Bizarre. That's a good sign. It's taken a while. Means it probably got past all the language checks, all that stuff, and just spent its own time doing blinking. Good, and the tracing actually works. Or whichever test I left the tracing on. Alright. When that finishes, we'll just run it. Where's the game? There it is. It's OBS. Put that on. Log in. Captain live coding. Oh, he's got a jungle island. MID 1. From a while ago. Cool. So down here, a few seconds ago, we had a couple spans, Game Master, Stream Character, and Auth. Oh, this is so nice. I love it. I wanted to see compare, so let's compare these two. These should be effectively the same thing. A and B. They look like they're pretty much the same. If we go back, there are two things that are not the same. It's for fun. I want to see what it looks like when they're different. Oh, wait, no. That one's huge. Let's just do these two. Nice. Deep dependency graph. Yep, legacy all the way down. That's just such a funny graph to me. I guess it's possible that you would have inner service stuff. I could absolutely see that. And like if stream multiplexer was doing something somewhere else, I separated those. One node per resource. Well, that's neat. Oh, that's a cool graph. Wow. All right, well, that's working. I think we're pretty good there. Tests are working. That's nice. That stuff. Let's get this buttoned up. Server. Character. I don't know if I actually want to include Jaeger in the repo. It's huge. Yeah, 207 megabytes. Technically, I'm only using one. Oh. What? Right. Okay, CD is source. CD is server. Jaeger. There we go. Only using this one. That's only 50 megs. Okay, I'm going to skip it for now. Okay. The rest of this, we're good. Feature. Oh, so much stuff. Feature. One thing that I wanted to see the difference, we build a release version, cargo build release. I'll just let that cook for a bit. But talking through it, basically, also want to see what sort of the difference would be between one like this and one that was run with in release mode. How much different are these? That text message I have to reply to real quick. But yeah, these things I think are going to be really, really nice to see. Let's go back here. Actually, let's pull Connor up there. Connor there in the little window. What I call him, Connor. So let's see, what are we going to work on next? Because I think this is it's gonna be an interesting sort of test. You know what? Let me push that in my other window. I think the next piece is to kind of keep working on the zoning. We got so far with the zoning. I forget why we stopped with the zoning. Anybody remember why we stopped working on the zoning stuff? It's just the end of the stream, wasn't it? It was Game Master Trigger Zone. Yeah. How to crash the server. Walk to the end of the world. Um, oh man. Might have to go early today. Does anybody know why Chrome, they stopped doing something with cookies and localhost? For whatever reason, in our development environment, Chrome stopped sending cookies if it was off of a subdomain off localhost. Like, like legacy.localhost. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bail early today, but let's see. This isn't too far off. I've been going through here, direction. Okay, where did that end up? I think I have two functions in here that are still kind of the old format. Yeah. I need to go through and basically upgrade that. But I'm probably not gonna have time for that today. Well, I'm gonna stick it out, we'll see what this runs, how this looks like when it runs. And kind of go from there. I really want to see what the time difference is going to be between debug and the release one. I'm hoping that tracing doesn't add a lot of overhead to this. I know they're using things like slab allocators and doing some crazy stuff under the hood for the tracing. So we'll see. All right. I have to look at a video real quick. Hopefully it doesn't kill my network. Is there audio on it? No, no audio. Huh. Strange. I'm gonna have to figure out how to reproduce this. Some people at work are having the same exact problem. Like two people are having a problem with their development environment. I can't reproduce it. What's going on? Strange. Well, almost there. 3 more crates. Yeah. It's taking a sweet time, isn't it? Wow. Oh, it compiled Prometheus metrics. Yeah, that thing's slowly gonna go away, isn't it? Because with Jaeger, there's only a few things I need. I don't think Jaeger does gauges. I think it's really just the gauge stuff I need. Unless I wanted to kind of trace things outside of Jaeger. One more, come on. You can do it, buddy. Oh, wow, 10 minutes. All right, let's run this. We're gonna do this with target release. I can see. Let's log in. Just clicking around a little bit. A little tour of the island. Let's go back to Jaeger now. We're just gonna find the traces for. Check those. Actually, let's compare some auth things. Let's pull up the stream auth, stream ID 1. Oh wow, the previous one took 571 milliseconds, and the one in the release build took 26 milliseconds. Exactly the same otherwise. Wow. Let's click into that. Still the login. Oh, that's right, because it has to do some hashing. It's doing crypto stuff in there. Probably why it takes so long there. Cool, not bad. Huh. Well, that's cool. I'm surprised at the large time difference, but I guess that makes sense for debug, etc. Excited about that. Also saw a project the other day that lets you do lets you do the what was it? Oh yes, you basically do some tracing. You basically sample your application, right? And then you feed it into this binary rearranger, and based on the way that your application ran, it reorders the program so that things are more likely in cache. You can get up to like 15% like performance gain off that too. It seems amazing. But this looks good. Oh, here, let me show you the. They're so excited about it. Forgot to switch over to the browser. Here we go. Two different logins. The one on the right over here, it's the one in release mode. The one on the left is the one in debug mode. You see, the latest one took 26 milliseconds. And the other one took 571. Yeah, database call still 0.5 milliseconds, but this here is probably just everything else inside of there, which is just hashing a lot faster here. Wow, that's cool. I'm glad that's working. All right, well with that, like that, we're probably gonna end here. I gotta get ready for work. I might go a little bit longer, but today work is coming to me. So I'm gonna head out. Oh, and thank you for the follow. Now help me pronounce this. Oh, you see console? Yes. Sorry about that. You see console. Oh, actually, one more thing I want to check. Back to all. Because a tick should be like next to nothing now. The tick isn't in here. Where's the tick? Tick under server? Am I not putting the tick in here yet? All right, well, I need to change that. But the tick should have dropped in the amount of time as well. And Ultoland, thank you for the follow. I'm saying that right. No. Who should we raid? Going to raid. Raj. All right, y'all. Gotta get going. Until next time. Bye-bye.